Interesting.
Hello guys and girls, how you doing? You alright? I've got a bit of a different video for you today. I'm guessing that most of you have seen this video before.
Say, have you been doing this for 24 hours in a row? I heard. See, I can't stop doing the thing. What is it? I Shaye? Are you still doing that hand thing?
Well, we will be looking at the backstory of the man who created this, the very dark lore of the main character Shaye Saint John, trying to figure out what all of this brain-melting insanity actually means and getting lost down some unexpected rabbit holes along the way. So let's get started. Eric Fournier was born in Bloomington, Indiana on the 2nd of September 1967. Not much is known about his youth apart from the fact that in a time before the internet he would travel to LA and come back to Bloomington with the latest punk trends. Someone who knew him at the time is quoted to say, "I distinctly remember the great feeling of anticipation when Eric returned from LA. What new gems would he have dug up? And he rarely failed to deliver." Eric clearly loved punk, as in the 1990s he would become a member of punk bands called the Blood Farmers and Skelligore. Even in this early stage of Eric's career, some of the problems that would plague him in later life would manifest. The Blood Farmers' first lineup left the group after several drunken and heated arguments during recording sessions of their first album. It was while with the Blood Farmers that Eric would start to work on the film Strange Dolly.
Face all pasty instead of burnt. Looks better than a scar, though. Great! Got a new hairdo. Yeah. Got a new hairdo. It looks good. Yeah, a lot. No more scarring. Absolutely no. No. There's no more. Absolutely no more scar tissue. Well, my skin is a little pasty, that's it. It looks great. Got a new hairdo. Come on by. Bye.
I have had to watch hours of this stuff to make this video, to the point that a grown man dressed in a grotesque mannequin outfit talking about his hairdo and scar tissue is no big deal anymore. In fact, I see it everywhere I look now. The shopkeepers now look like this to me, random strangers in the street. Even when I make sweet, sweet love to my hand, this is what I imagine now. Anyway, moving swiftly on, Eric seems to have been a shy artist who didn't crave the limelight, but instead was forced to endure it, as his creative passion would always end in a need to perform to fully manifest the art that he was making. Eric would call these strange videos that he was making about an odd mannequin woman triggers, and he started to show them to people. Carl Crew is an actor, artist, and co-proprietor of a club called the California Institute of Abnormal Arts, or CIA for short. Crew is quoted to say, "In the early days, an old friend who worked at a post-production facility dropped by one time and showed me a trigger of Shaye and Eric. I got Fournier's number and called him up and we just hit it off. Eric and Crew would then start to work together on these triggers and the Shaye Saint John character would start to come to life. Like, really come to life. Crew refuses to even entertain the idea that Eric was inside the Shaye Saint John costume and talks about her like she's a real living person. The pair would put Shaye into scenarios, then just see what happens. Crew is quoted to say, "We just set up these little scenarios, props or something for her to play with, and we'd come up with a line and she'd go off on these pre-programmed words and things and sounds, and that would alter her memory. These sessions would be recorded, then edited by Eric. Making these videos seems to have been a real labour of love for Eric. Due to the technological limitations and unorthodox editing style, they would take many hours to make and even longer to render. Eric started to use a website called LiveJournal to upload his videos, and soon he had a small cult following. In the early 2000s, even most of the people that would go to the CIA club and watch Shaye perform didn't know who lay behind the costume. Most just presumed that it was Carl Crew due to his natural showmanship and the fact that it was at the CIA club. A lady named Claire would ask Crew if Shaye could attend her birthday party that was being held at the CIA club. At this party, Shaye and Claire hit it off and became friends, so Claire started to chat with Shaye via her LiveJournal account. Claire is quoted to say, "Every day I would come home from my shitty job, get on instant messenger and talk to Shaye for hours. Hours. Shaye would give me advice about everything, encourage my art, say, well, people don't get you, fuck them. All those lovely things. Everyone wants a friend to do that. I think I prefer my friends not to be disfigured mannequins, but maybe I'm just old-fashioned." Claire and Shaye would build a friendship, with Claire never knowing who or what lie beneath the mask, until one day Eric smiled at Claire, who was confused why he was doing this. Eric would then whisper to her, "You know I'm Shaye." Claire would keep his secret and not tell anyone else. In 2002, Shaye Saint John premiered at a theatre in Los Angeles with a show called Turkey Day. This didn't go as well as Eric would have hoped for, with one viewer saying, "It freaked everybody out and it got banned from the new art. I was like, what is this weird puppet robot woman lady?" In 2004, Eric would package his videos together on a DVD titled The Triggers Compilation, on which Eric was credited as the director, writer, editor and producer. We will look a little more at this DVD later on, but for now there was a big change heading towards Shaye Saint John. Eric would start the YouTube channel Elastic Spastic Plastic Fantastic on the 30th of August 2006, where he would upload his triggers of Shaye Saint John. These videos would get a mixed response, with many finding them horrific while others loved them. His channel would become a fixture of top 10 lists of the most creepy channels on YouTube, and his video about doing the hand thing would get millions and millions of views over its lifetime. Between 2006 and 2007, Eric would upload 56 videos, forever being remembered as that weird part of YouTube right next to videos about dark web mysteries.
Hold on, let me read the comments. Reading comments on my YouTube on the internet. Oh, let me go. Oh. It's really easy once you get on the YouTube. Hold on. Nope, erase that. Let me look at my comments. Oh no! Oh, look at all my different comments. Hold on. Next comment on the internet. Oh no, I'm getting too many comments. Oh, no way! Let me write back a comment. Jeffy downloads. Hold on. No way! You can sign up for really great emails from watching Quinn Cummings' new video. It's called I Have Freckles and I'm Leaving Diarrhea Bags in My Mom's Apartment.
Shaye also had her own website, which sadly no longer exists in its full glory, but can be viewed using the Wayback Machine. Or there are videos on YouTube of people exploring it when it was active. I'll leave a link in the description to the Wayback Machine version if you want to take a look. This website is a true descent into madness, or artistic genius, I guess, depending on which way you look at it. Discombobulating visuals and jarring sounds at every turn, a seemingly never-ending amount of stuff to click that leads you on to other stuff to click that leads you on to yet more stuff to click, and all of this stuff is disturbing and strange. I spent a lot of time poking around this fever dream of burnt dolls and early internet gifs, but I'm sure that I didn't see everything on there. The website does have many clues as to what the hell is going on with the mystery of Shaye Saint John, like it states, long story short, I am an entertainer, I am a model, I am a singer, I am a magician, I am an actor, I am so many things. I am also the world's record holder for having the most problems.
This friend of mine ripped out my eye playing doctor with me, leaving an empty socket.
A common theme on the website is burnt dolls. This seems to be a thing that pops up over and over again. So does fireworks and references to Hollywood or show business. Due to the sensory overload, it's a little difficult to take it all in, but they are the main themes of the website from what I can make out. So the Triggers compilation DVD is another place to find clues of what Shaye Saint John is all about. Sadly, this DVD cost $650, and I'm barely scraping by as it is, so I can't afford that. Plus, I don't own a DVD player, so I haven't watched this. But there are some people that talk about it online and play footage from it. This DVD seems much like the website, with lots of hidden stuff to find throughout. And on the surface, a lot of meaningless, weird things like triggers about feeding candy to cats and dolls injuring themselves with fireworks.
What lies behind this door? Behind this door. Kitty candy. Don't forget to feed the kitty. What's wrong with Shaye's kitty?
Here's some kitty candy, okay. What's that? Kitty wants some candy? Yum yum, okay.
We'll come on to my theories about what this all means later on, but let's get back to the timeline. So Eric would stop uploading to his YouTube channel as he had plans to start doing stuff with a band. But unfortunately, Eric also had a problem with alcohol, which was getting worse and worse. This has been described as fast-moving and unstoppable. Sadly, on the 25th of February 2010, Eric Fournier would die of alcohol-induced internal bleeding. His YouTube channel was now left unattended, and after changes to YouTube's terms of service, the channel was terminated on the 22nd of December 2017. It's a little unclear what terms of service the channel was breaking, but I saw one place where it said it was multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy against spam, deceptive practices and misleading content, or other terms of service violations. I honestly struggled to see how this would relate to his channel, but that's what it says. Since the channel was removed, archive channels have popped up and re-uploaded his videos, and they all seem fine, so whatever the problem was, I would assume that it was not the videos themselves.
Oh, everyone. Hi. Do you like to see my head like this? I do. Hi, my name's Shaye Saint John. You might know me from my many appearances in motion picture and television, but this is my very own show. Welcome to the world of Shaye Saint John, everyone. Hi. Did you know I could do this with my head? It floats mysteriously above the clouds. Yum yum, honey. Would you like to see my adventures in Hollywood? I bet you didn't know I could take my head off my body and fly around town, but I can. There's where Susan lives, and there's Corky, and Tina, and Crixton, and Debris. Hi, my name's Shaye Saint John. God. Oh my gosh, I think I hear a plane coming. Hold on. God. Hi, Kiki. God.
Shaye Saint John was a fairly normal lady who lived in a Catholic home for women, had friends and worked in a plastic factory. Really, the only notable thing about her was that she was very beautiful and worked as a model. One day, Shaye was hit by a train and rushed to hospital. After many months, sadly, Shaye would lose both her arms and legs, with her beautiful face being disfigured beyond repair. This wasn't the end of the bad times for Shaye though. While she was in hospital, the CIA would subject her to a series of horrific mind control experiments. This is the real CIA and not the California Institute of Abnormal Arts. These mind control experiments would leave Shaye as the most implanted person in the world. It wasn't all bad news for Shaye though. A good agent at the CIA wanted to help her escape, so approached Eric Fournier with a proposition. If Eric agreed to pretend to be Shaye Saint John, then the agent could help her escape and put her into the witness protection program. Eric took the deal and donned the costume in the knowledge that if he ever broke character, it would alert the CIA to the truth and Shaye's life could be in danger. Shaye was now convinced that she was a Hollywood star and saw prosthetic limbs as beneath her, so she decided to use mannequin parts. She would also wear masks and wigs to hide her true face from the world. I'm not sure how or why, but she also had a doll with a burnt face named Kiki, which had supernatural telekinetic powers. Maybe she got this from the CIA? Shaye had now created her own reality, a place where she was a diva, a superstar, a beautiful woman. But the reality was that she lived in a dilapidated house covered in rubbish, using 2 wooden hands and mannequin legs to keep up the pretense. A wretched creature with delusion as her only true companion. And when reality would start to rear its ugly head, she would do what she called wire therapy, shocking away the truth and allowing the sweet relief of self-deception to come rushing back. The truth understandably being too much for her to bear. The truth is that we are all Shaye Saint John, deluding ourselves that we are more important than we are. The truth of ourselves forever being hidden from us, as to look upon it is to stare into the abyss and potentially never return. The truth is that I'd give Shaye one right up the arse. Don't act like you wouldn't, fellas. We all know that the crazier they are, the better they are in bed, so Shaye must be amazing. Only joking, she's out of my league. Anyway, after Eric died, Carl Crew has stated that Shaye is safe in hiding and has contacted him once to let him know that she is still alive. So when I make these videos, I normally end up falling down some weird rabbit holes that are kind of linked to the video that I'm making, but not really, so I normally don't include them in the finished video. This is one of those rabbit holes, but I thought you guys might be interested in it, so here we are. A lot of the creepiest videos on YouTube, top 10s, that would feature Shaye Saint John would also feature a video called Obey the Walrus. I'm sure most of you have seen this video at some point. Well, the lady in this video is named Goddess Bunny. Real name, Sandra Sandy Crisp. He was born on the 13th of January 1960 as a boy. I've been unable to find his real birth name. In his youth he would get polio and was subjected to malpractice by multiple doctors, which left him with lifelong disfigurement and a need to use a wheelchair. In the 1970s he would transition into a she. I'm not sure how good the technology was back then, so I'm unsure exactly what that means. Upon leaving school she would enter the entertainment industry, featuring in movies and a music video for Marilyn Manson. In her youth she was arrested when she pleasured a whole football team one after the other, 36 of them, as a way to celebrate winning a game. This bit of information is taken from a short documentary by someone dressed as a rabbit, so maybe it's not the most reliable source. Sandy loved to sing and tap dance. It was while she was tap dancing at a bar that she would meet her husband Rocky. The pair fell in love and got married, but sadly Rocky got AIDS from a man in prison and passed it on to Sandy. Rocky would later die from the virus. Someone would get hold of a video of Sandy tap dancing, put it to weird music, and the Obey the Walrus video was born. So why have we fallen down this little rabbit hole? Well, there is a documentary called Eric and Shaye which features Sandy briefly. That's it. As I say, normally I probably wouldn't include this, but it seems pretty interesting.
So stop trying to be me, Miss Saint John. There's only one Goddess Bunny, and I'm it. So get over yourself. Got it? Yes, you're right now.
This documentary seems impossible to actually watch anywhere, so I only stumbled across this by someone doing a review on it on YouTube. Sadly, the Goddess Bunny died aged 61 of COVID. As you have no doubt guessed, Shaye Saint John won the vote. It was really close between the top 3, only about 30 votes in it. The last place was quite far behind, to be honest. I'll make a video on all of them at some point in the future anyway. There are a few other little bits of information that I'll add here. Someone called Mr. Black Darkness did an interview with Shaye, which took place after Eric had passed away. The person playing Shaye did a pretty good job, to be honest. So maybe it was someone close to Eric, or maybe just a super fan, or maybe it was the real Shaye that had come out of hiding. Hard to know for sure. The Shaye Saint John story is a relic of a simpler time, a time time when you could create an entire website about a disfigured model who was brainwashed into insanity by the CIA and freak out millions of people by just wearing a mask and acting strangely. It's hard to imagine that really being the case these days. So what does all this mean? What are the hidden messages being told to us? The deeper meaning of it all? Well, I don't know for sure, but I view it in a few different levels. Firstly, it seems like a fairly obvious critique of Hollywood and the emptiness of seeking celebrity, selling your soul for 15 minutes of fame. The website is laced with references to abuse, substance misuse, and Hollywood. Shaye herself is convinced that she is famous and important. She embarks on Hollywood diets and beautification even though she can never regain the beauty that she once had. It's not hard to see the parallels between this and the aging stars getting plastic surgery. On this level, it tells a tale of how seeking this lifestyle will leave you broken and alone. An over-exaggerated version of what Eric must have been seeing while living in LA. On another level, where Shaye is assumed to be real, her videos are her dealing with the events of her life. The triggers being a coping mechanism for what the CIA did to her. Or maybe she is still being experimented on and these videos are being triggered by the CIA. At its root, I think these videos are a look into the soul of Eric Fournier, a shy artist forced into the limelight, building his personality from the parts that he sees around him. An over-exaggeration of the social mask that we all wear, saying the things that he thinks that he should say on a loop and going home to live a life less glamorous than the one that people would expect. Or maybe it's just some guy doing random stuff for shock value. Make your own mind up, I guess. All this stuff is open to interpretation, so I'll be interested to hear what you guys think. It was a little tricky to get a timeline for this stuff, as a lot of it happened before the internet, so I'm sorry if I got anything mixed up. I did my best. The Shaye Saint John character is an interesting one, which I quite like, and hopefully it will live on in internet history for the years to come. And let's hope that Shaye is doing well in the witness protection program.
Happy Halloween, you piece of trash! You stupid piece of trash! Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! Race blades in your apples! Happy race blade apple! Happy Halloween! If a race blade apple, eat it! Oh, don't let me forget Gwyneth Paltrow and her luscious little hands and feet. She's gonna be a dagger for Halloween. Guess what, everyone? J-Lo wants to be a piece of trash.
Watch this video about Minnie Manson. In a weird way, Minnie Manson kinda reminds me of the real life Shaye Saint John. Thanks to the channel members and Patreons, you are the mannequin parts that I build myself from. Thanks to all the rest of you for watching, and bye bye.
Hi, Ian. Did you know I'm doing the drip drop Hollywood diet?